The Lord be with you. A reading from the Holy Gospel according to Luke. Jesus appointed 72 other disciples, whom he sent ahead of him in pairs to every town and place he intended to visit. He said to them, "The harvest is abundant, but the laborers are few. So ask the master of the harvest to send out laborers for his harvest. Go on your way. Behold, I am sending you like lambs among wolves. Carry no money bag, no sack, no sandals, and greet no one along the way. Into whatever house you enter, first say, 'Peace to this household.' If a peaceful person lives there, your peace will rest on him, but if not, it will return to you. Stay in the same house and eat and drink what is offered to you, for the laborer deserves his payment. Do not move about from one house to another. Whatever town you enter and they welcome you, eat what is set before you, cure the sick in it, and say to them, 'The kingdom of God is at hand for you.' Whatever town you enter and they do not receive you, go out into the streets and say, 'The dust of your town that clings to our feet, even that we shake off against you.' Yet know this, the kingdom of God is at hand. I tell you, it will be more tolerable for Sodom on that day than for that town." The Gospel of the Lord. In the Catholic Church, for young women who are preparing to take final vows, and for men who are wanting to become priests, the formators ask those people to go and live in community. And that can last anywhere from 6 years to 8 years. That's a long time. And they do that for a very wonderful reason. The reason is that the formators, the people in charge of the young people, watch to see how they can handle living together with other people. In a seminary, it can be as much as 150 other men living under literally one roof. They eat together, they pray together, they study together, they recreate together. How are you going to handle that? And it's the same way for young women who are intending to be nuns. The reason I bring this up to you on the feast of St. Teresa of Lisieux is because of something that I overheard in passing after a mass one day in the seminary by my rector. That was 32 years ago today. He was talking to another priest on the feast of St. Teresa, and he said, "Oh yeah, but Teresa's community was unhealthy." That was very interesting to me. So in the ensuing years, I researched it and come to find out that priest was correct. Because Teresa's Mother Superior was a very bitter woman. She was harsh, she was angry, and she took all of that out on this young girl. Teresa was only a teenager when she entered the convent. In addition to that, there was a very elderly nun there who was not a happy person. And she would often take out her frustrations and her unhappiness on Teresa. Teresa, as a young nun, had to serve the other nuns. She was young. And the only jobs that she had was as the dishwasher in the kitchen and the person who did the nuns' laundry. That's all she did. One time, Teresa made a mistake at table with this bitter elderly nun, and she said something back to her. So the Mother Superior, for weeks, made Teresa lie flat on the floor, face down, in the refectory, that's where they eat, and made the other nuns walk over her. And the only thing that she got for weeks was bread. But Teresa overcame all of that. Teresa did not live a long life. She only lived to be 24 years old. When she was very ill with tuberculosis, the Mother Superior asked her to write a story of your life, 24 years old. And what Teresa wrote has become one of the preeminent theological discourses in the church today. It was so well written and so deep in spirituality and understanding of God that the popes have made her a doctor of the church. Teresa of Lisieux, 24 years old. Nobody ever heard of her. She lived in a cloistered convent. Wrote this dissertation that stunned the cardinals and the popes and the theologians. She is the first woman to become a doctor of the church. So Teresa overcame the bitterness by her little way. What bitterness do we have to overcome in our personal lives and in our country? And so as people of